Please help support the channel by visiting our Amazon store, affiliate link below. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater, and Star Trek Discovery's premiere is only 10 days away. That's right, Sunday, September 24th, 2017. You can watch the pilot on CBS, and then after that, you got to pay for it on CBS All Access, although I have a feeling many Trekkies are more of the technologically adept, so they probably won't go to CBS All Access, and that's going to be a problem CBS itself is going to have to fight. But right now, that is probably the least of their concerns about the piracy angle of this particular show. What we know is that there is a lot of division amongst Star Trek fans. Some are excited, thinking that the new show looks wonderful. Others are cautiously optimistic, not too sure what to think because of some of behind-the-scenes drama, the change of the Klingons' look, the whole issue involving Trump supporters being a key, inspiration for how the Klingons are going to be portrayed in the series, and others are basically waiting for this to be a gigantic train wreck. And they think that mostly because of the behind-the-scenes stories, what we already know about the franchise, and just how off it feels in the Prime timeline and how it does feel more akin to the Kelvin timeline. But that's, a discussion for another day. However, the naysayers right now might actually be somewhat justified in their naysaying, because we're finding out through Screenrant that all reviews of Star Trek Discovery are going to be embargoed from the premieres in New York and LA, so people who attend that are not going to be able to talk about it until the show comes out, and the show will not be screened early for critics. That is never a good sign. That is never a good sign at all. It shows you that there is very little faith in the property itself. Now, this is what Screenrant says directly. The source claims the embargo is in place to ensure plot details don't leak, but it's inevitable that fans will fear it's really for the other reason embargoes are enforced, namely that the network is bracing for a wave of negative reviews. That fear isn't coming out of nowhere for Star Trek fans. Discovery has had a long, sometimes contentious production cycle. Initial series creator Brian Fuller departed before production began due to scheduling issues and creative differences with CBS. Discovery has also loudly broadcast the fact it will be discarding some of Star Trek's foundational tropes, aiming for a more modern, dark, serialized take on the franchise. Case in point, retconning Commander Burnham into an adoptive sister Spock never mentioned has given fans some pause. Yeah, right. The lead character in the show is Spock's half-sister, and that has given some fans some pause, because they're like, when the hell did Sarek ever adopt anybody? And why is it now we're hearing about this? And why is it we're hearing about this in a show that takes place 10 years prior to the original series? That's only one of the things that fans are a little bit crazy about. But look, a lot of this is probably going to be fear and speculation. Let's just be fair here for a second. The embargo to make sure leaks don't get out there does make sense. But at the same time, we've seen multiple instances in the last few years where movies have stopped critics from seeing the film early, and that has had a devastating impact on the reviews of the film, because it basically tells the critics that there is something there to worry about, that the studio does not have faith in the product and won't let it stand on its own, and that can sometimes play in negatively to a few viewers. But we also know through a recent study that websites like Rotten Tomatoes have very little impact overall on the overall popularity or profitability of a product. So, I mean, look at Iron Fist on Netflix, right? The show had abysmal ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, but it was still one of the most streamed Netflix series, prompting a second season. So, there's that. These things generally don't tend to have much of an impact. But with Iron Fist, the first 4 episodes were in fact screened to critics, and they can get a feel for the first third of the series. This case, it won't have any of that, and essentially what we're going to be seeing here is a show that's going to be going into unknown territory and not giving fans a chance to know more about it before they go in blindly too, which can have either a negative impact or a positive one if the show was any good. My theory on it is that it's going to be passable. It's going to be okay. The Orville having come out last week and having had strong opening numbers, it's probably one of the reasons why they wanted to hold off. The Orville also screened its pilot episode early for critics, and that was torn to shreds, even though the fans showed up in droves to watch it on TV. But then again, that's Fox, that's syndicated. This is CBS showing one episode syndicated and then moving the rest to an online streaming service that, as far as I know, not a lot of people have. In fact, no one in my social circle has even heard of CBS All Access outside of Star Trek and has no desire to pick it up. But the question goes back to you guys. Do you think that this is going to have a hindrance on the show doing well in terms of ratings? Do you think people are going to give a crap overall? Or do you think this is just another sign that the production will crash and burn and the likelihood of Star Trek Discovery moving past one season is nil? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been $3 Theater. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day. Peace out.